Franklin family, they are not too particularly happy with Reverend Jasper Williams Jr., of course, who gave the eulogy. He was blasted by many people for what he had to say, and then he held a news conference on Sunday where he defended what he had to say. Well, last night, Vaughn Franklin released a statement to the Associated Press. I talked to Vaughn yesterday as well, and where the family blasted, calling his eulogy offensive. And Reverend Barber, a lot of people were surprised that the Franklin family would come out with that statement, and they said simply there was nobody in the family who was happy with what he had to say to eulogize Aretha Franklin.
Well, you know, that's a very sensitive time, and the family has a right to speak and should speak. I've been trying to preach this gospel now for 30 years. Eulogy literally means means good, and logia means words, so it's supposed to be good words about the person who is deceased. You know, it's not a time to say things that, first of all, many of them need to be challenged. The facts, the stat, this generalization that, you know, we've lost our souls. And so I've been really hurt. I've cried when I saw some of it, and been very prayerful both for the family and for the eulogists. We know who Aretha was. You know, there's things I wish we could have had, you know, a woman preacher to also, you know, preach and lift at that time. But to talk about people's husbands and I mean fathers and what they didn't do, it's just not the place, you know, in a eulogy. And on an international stage, the thing to do is to lift up what Aretha lived, you know, and what she called us to, and the obstacles she overcame, and how she sung out of that belly of the sorrow songs that are part of our history, and somehow took a painful experience and gave it power, took a sad experience and gave it joy. You know, I talked about how whenever Aretha sang, you wanted to move, not just move, dance, but you wanted to move to the voting polls. You wanted to move and stand up for something. You know, even respect. It sounds like she's talking about a man, but respect becomes an anthem for the movement, too. We demand respect. We say respect is non-negotiable. So I pray that the singers and the other people that spoke have helped to bring healing to the family, and have helped to speak to the nation more clearly about who Aretha was. I did see something where the pastor said something, did a press conference apology, but I also don't want to get distracted too long there, because Aretha is yet singing, and we got work to do. We have work to do.
Reverend Barber, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
God bless.
All right, then. Again, going to our panel here. Look, it was very interesting is as I sat there, as I listened to Jasper Williams, I literally was going, what the hell are you talking about? I mean, when he started talking about, you know, black people walk around like we're zombies, and we drugged out and we drunk, and look, I absolutely understand about respect to black people. Respect. One of the reasons why I don't like anybody calling me the N-word. My deal is I'm not a nigga. I'm a black man.
That's right.
You can call me a brother. You can call me whatever. You're not gonna use words against me that white oppressors have used against us. But when I listened to that sermon, I was sitting there trying to figure out, he was talking about, you know, black women can't raise a black boy, but laying in front of you was a woman who raised 4 black boys, who was sitting in the audience. And I was like...
But he said at his press conference the other day that he didn't mean disrespect to her. He also said it was the end of a 9-hour funeral, and he didn't feel like preaching. But the thing that broke my heart, Roland, was Jesse Jackson, in many ways, gave that eulogy. When he talked about WLAC in Nashville, I'm from Nashville. I remember as a little boy listening to Jasper Williams give the sermon, I Fell in Love with a Prostitute. This is an old school black conservative Bible preacher who preached C.L. Franklin's funeral. Watching the funeral of C.L. Franklin, you see Jasper Williams preach an hour sermon, and Jesse is hopping up and down on the pulpit. That black funeral of Aretha Franklin was representative of our death rituals, including the moments at the death ritual when the preacher goes off the rails and everybody's like, what the hell is he talking? Jasper Williams gave the world something that they'd never seen before. They'd never seen him, but he introduced himself to the world in a way that even undercut his own genealogy.
Well, the beauty of black church, right, is it's not based on kind of white standards, right? It's completely free. But that also means that we've got to call folk out, right? When they're out of bounds.
Well, I'm not against that. What I'm saying is that calling Jasper Williams out requires us to be honest about the genealogy of the black church, because there's also silences. There were people who agreed with Jasper Williams.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm saying that the complicated thing for me about Jasper, and I'm not defending Jasper Williams.
Right.
I'm saying there's a whole line in terms of the black church. That's why he was there. It wasn't that they just picked him out of clean air. And I know the Franklin family is now backing up.
Well, no, and what he did was, of course, he did seal Franklin's funeral. He did several other Franklin family members who died as well. Liz, but what really got me was when he had the news conference. When he was asked, okay, you laid all these things out, what's your plan?
Right.
Well, I'm not really going to share that right now. That's a conversation black folks should have among themselves. And I'm going, wait a minute.
Nah.
You just spoke to an international audience.
That's right.
Now you got a news conference.
That's right.
And you got more cameras there.
Yeah.
Hello, that's the time to talk about your plan.
He certainly could have corrected the record or just taken that as an opportunity to change the conversation and kind of honor Aretha Franklin's life and her legacy, and to kind of, take a step back and be reflective. And she was an honorary member of my esteemed sorority. I'm a Delta Sigma Theta
Yes, indeed.
Sorority Incorporated member.
Yeah, we got you. And they had Deltas had their mega service on Tuesday, of course, at the Wright Museum.
Yes.
So
yes,
go.
yes.
But you got your Delta shout out.
You got my Delta shout out for all my
My wife for Delta too. I got you.
Shouts out to the light skin soror. So I think it's important. I think it's important.
This is wrong.
We unfiltered, right? No, but
Unfiltered.
no. Look, I'm Catholic, and I was watching the ceremony because like not all of my family members are Catholic, and I've been to the black church, and I get it. It's a gathering.
There's some black Catholic churches. I grew up in one of them.
There's some black Catholic churches, but they never reach the level of an AME, right? They never reach the level. They never
obviously,
do.
you ain't been to the
I've
right
been
one.
there. I've been there.
That's right.
I'm just letting you know, Liz.
That's right.
All right, I'll take your word for
Liz,
it.
Hey, look, listen to St. Augustine.
I'm just letting you know, the
No
meeting in
question.
the Catholic church I grew up in was founded in my grandparents' living room.
Okay,
I've been
okay.
to a black Catholic church.
Roman Catholic.
So,
Roman Catholic.
There's
Yeah,
only
but
one
yes.
kind of
Okay, all
Catholic.
right. There's more than. Maybe they were Episcopalian saying they were Catholic. I don't
you
know.
must went to
I don't know.
bootleg Catholic.
I don't know. I
That's
don't
where
know.
you went.
I went to the Basilica of the National
Yeah,
Shrine,
okay,
the
okay.
first basilica in the country. My point is this: watching it, it's still comforting. It's something very, very familiar to everyone watching that, and it was disappointing to kind of not only just hear what he was saying, but his behavior with Ariana Grande and the
No, that was a different bishop.
No. The other
No,
bishop
Jasper wasn't on stage when that happened. You talking about Bishop Ellis.
Yes, but just the behavior, and then Black Twitter or all Twitter, just kind of erupting about the behavior of black men in the position of power when they have positions of authority in our churches, and just kind of it just kind of creeped out until kind of casting a really wide blanket and generalizations on everyone.
All those things happened, and then you had Stevie Wonder who came on and basically rebuked what Jasper Williams had to say. Gladys Knight brought it home as well.
No question.
And so at the end of it was 8 hours and 50 minutes. Okay,
Right.
It started. The prelude was at 9:30 a.m.
Man.
And it didn't. Jennifer Holiday didn't sing her last note until 6:50. And here's the deal. Okay, all these black people are like, oh my God, it's so long. Don't act like y'all ain't never been to no long funeral.
Come on.
For somebody didn't nobody know.
But what about Chuck Woolery? His tweet saying that it was distasteful, and that was offensive.
Well,
who is
Exactly.
he?
And that's the beauty
But
of it.
there are. But
Nobody
why
cares.
is he critiquing? Why does he get a chance to critique it?
Because he's irrelevant. So I mean, but the whole
It got picked up on the media.
But of course, which we don't control, which is hence why we have our own show here.
No question.
Okay.
I mean, let's think about this as well. Here's something that very few people commented on. Louis Farrakhan is sitting on that stage. He didn't speak, but he was there. Barack Obama was not.
Oh, they were mad as hell. Farrakhan was there.
I'm sure they were. But here's the thing: because that was a black space, Bill and Hillary Clinton had to sit there and bear it. Meaning what? This is a space just like Roland Martin, unfiltered. We control this space.
Right, that's what it was.
For good, bad,
and Aretha Franklin knew Farrakhan.
That's exactly
was
right.
Friends with Farrakhan, stood with Farrakhan.
That's right.
He was there.
And Detroit was up for #1 in the Nation of Islam.
And all the folks who are mad, if you want to be mad that Farrakhan was there, then you want to get mad at Aretha. But that's what people crack me up. They don't want to get mad at Aretha Franklin.
Right.
No.
But they want to say, well, why was he there? Because he was a friend of hers.
Yeah.
No question.
I'm like, what?